Something's got to give this time. So, Michael, who wins this game, and what's the score?
And listen, I love the storylines around the game.
Yeah.
You know, when we go to Cleveland and Houston, that's an old man versus a young man.
Yeah, it's great.
And right here, speaking of old man, young man, you remember the beginning of the season when Matthew Stafford, wife, was saying he can't communicate with these guys.
She did say that.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
What's going on here?
Yep.
And he said, I don't know what's going on. I can't communicate with these guys. They're communicating pretty well now, and they're playing very well. And that's why I call them one of the dangerous teams. Skip, you just talked about the run game that they have going. I see you got that kind of run game. You got Matthew Stafford, and you got that cup and Puka cup thing going. That's some dangerous football. You don't want to see that, especially Matthew Stafford, who more than anybody loves to throw the ball all over the field. He loves throwing the ball all over the field. I got this game being one of those games where it's a 38-35 finish. Detroit, this Silverdome is going to be rocking. It's going to be rocking. But it's a home field advantage for Matthew Stafford. He's played more games in that dome than anybody. He knows all the spots in that dome. He's as comfortable as anybody in that dome. He has produced in that dome, and he will produce. And I'm telling you, 38-35 is their score with that run game and those receivers they have. Matthew Stafford ain't going to stop throwing this ball, and he's going to get his flowers. Now, we'll talk about this. Matthew Stafford get a great run this run towards the Super Bowl. He can solidify his gold jacket. He can solidify his gold jacket with this run coming out of Detroit with the run he made to that Super Bowl last time.
So you're picking the Rams.
I'm not 38-35. I'm taking
Rams. You're taking the Rams.
You got the Rams.
38-35.
You got the Rams.
Matthew Stafford going home and get a victory.
Picking the Rams because I don't want to.
Man, don't get in all that. Don't get in all that. Let's see what you got. Don't talk. I won't need all that. Things don't play out how it plays out.
I didn't say anything.
Jimmy Johnson Kirsner made stuff play out.
I didn't say anything. I said I'm picking the Rams because, and you trying to fill in my blanks. Okay? And in the end, I think when you look at this, yes, the Rams are a very good football team and played good football here recently. They won 7 of the last 8. I don't count. That's just not count San Francisco in the end. That didn't really, I mean, it's on their record, but we all know what happened with San Francisco at the end of the season. They lose in overtime to Baltimore. Okay, whatever. They get a hold of Joe Flacco in Cleveland early in Flacco's starting career in Cleveland. That's fine. When I look at the teams that they've beaten, Washington, New Orleans, the Giants, Arizona, barely 1-point win over Seattle. I look at that and I go, okay, that you give them the W, give them the credit for it. But you're getting ready to go up against a team in Detroit that is going to play a physical style on both sides of the ball. In particular, they're going to try to run the football.
They will.
They're going to try to beat you by running down your throat with the young dude in Gibbs. Keeping Jared Goff nice and calm from trying to keep him from making mistakes against his former team that traded him away. So he's coming in with a little chip on his shoulders, you best believe, because he's looking across and saying, you got rid of me for him and won a Super Bowl, so y'all think I can't play anymore. So that's going to be a little bit of a storyline in itself.
No doubt.
We don't think you can win a Super Bowl. You got us there, but you didn't win.
Exactly. So I'm going to ship you off. And so when you look at that, Skip and Michael, this is a team, for the first time in a long time, to host a playoff game at home.
It's going to be rocking.
It's going to be rocking to a whole nother level.
30 years ago when they got that playoff game.
So think about teams that haven't had playoff games at home in a very long time. In those first playoff games, how it explodes. And those teams usually get to the divisional round. They usually do. If they had a long playoff drought and they finally get one at home, they usually advance. Don't mean they're going to the Super Bowl. Don't mean that they're getting to the NFC Championship game. Just means that they're going to advance to the divisional round.
They're playing so hype
because they're playing hard and hype and they're focused. So I got the score: Lions 33, the Rams 24. That's the way I see it. I understand Michael wanted to try to figure out how to go around meeting up with Detroit, but I'm sorry, Michael. You're gonna probably at some point find yourself maybe potentially playing the Lions.
Right. Well, I'm not running from the Lions. I can put my cards on the table. I'm running from the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're not running from the Lions?
Not the Lions. No, I'm not running from the Lions. I can handle Lions, Tigers, and Bears.
Okay, so
it's the 49ers.
So Mr.
Oh my!
So as they like to say,
right, I'm not running
Mr.
from the
Irving, is it true
I'm not running from the Lions
that if Dan Campbell converts on a 2-point conversion a couple weeks ago at home, do they beat the Dallas Cowboys, given the fact you played your starters throughout the entire game? Is it true?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, that's it, Mr. Bayless.
They won. They won the game. And then
but you were supposed to lose to Detroit. You don't want to see them again. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, quick point of order. I was there the last time Detroit won a playoff game at home, and it was 38-6, and Michael Irvin did play, and the quarterback that day was Steve Berline. Troy mopped up because Troy was coming off a sprained medial collateral knee ligament.
Steve Berline had, how many he won? Like 5, 6, 7 games in a row?
He was on fire, and he had gone to Chicago and beaten Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
And Jimmy, even though Troy was ready to come back, Jimmy said, no, I got to ride this Tiger all the way home. And he rode it up to Detroit. And
might have been a bad decision.
And Eric Kramer threw.
Yeah, 5 for 10.
Yeah, he was like that. Yeah, it was like that. But Eric Kramer threw a party that day. It was like 350 yards passing. There was no, Barry Sanders played, but he was no factor. They just threw the hell out of it. Okay.
And they rolled and doubled up, man.
Yeah.
And I could have used Troy with a stronger arm that could zip some passes, and I was like, maybe we rode this one too
maybe
far.
you rode it a little too far.
Berline went on to make a lot of money. He did great after that.
And he was very good, but he wasn't Troy Aikman, obviously. All right. I'm going to pick this with my heart and my head. So you can call me out for my pick, but I think it's a smart pick because I'm with Michael. I set this scenario in motion on Monday's show. I believe the Rams are just a little better than Detroit. I believe that Matt Stafford is clearly better than Jared Goff. And I thought it was a great trade, and it worked out beautifully because it produced a Super Bowl.
Yes.
And
I would do that a million times over, Skip.
You just would.
Yeah.
And even though Matt had struggled, he was 0-3 in the playoffs in Detroit.
Yes.
But I just keep bringing up that Bruce Arians once upon a time said there's only one quarterback I go out early to watch warm up, and it's this guy spinning the football because nobody can spin it like Matt Stafford. And he has refound his groove. They're protecting him, and he has 2 big-time targets. Yeah. And Detroit is suspect in the secondary. You can throw it on Detroit. So you could be right. I don't have the score as high as you do. I get the Rams winning 30-24. But I am also picking with my heart because of the scenario by which I need the Rams then to go back and have Kyle Shanahan be haunted by the words I just read to you about how dangerous the Rams are, because then they would have to deal with the Rams in San Francisco the next round of the playoffs. And if Baker Mayfield could knock off or put Philly out of its misery on Monday night, we would get the Buccaneers at home instead of Detroit. I'm going to give you this. I keep reading quotes out of Detroit. They want Dallas. They're going 2 games at a time, too. They want to go get even with us for getting robbed in Dallas.
They better
remember, but see, that's my whole point.
They better get that out their minds today and focus on this game. But that's my whole point,
is when I look at the Detroit-Dallas game, Detroit's supposed to win that game, man. They're supposed to win. You're never supposed to, as a head coach, make an emotional decision based on, I told him we're going to go for 2. Okay, we went for 2. It didn't work. Kick the field goal. Let's go into overtime and win the game. He made an emotional decision,
but remember,
which was a bad decision.
Micah jumped offside, so you got to go back to the short.
I don't care. Kick the field goal, man. Kick the field goal. We had an opportunity to get the 2nd or the 1 seed. No. Yeah,
they had a shot at the 1 seed.
The 1 seed,
they did.
Yeah.
No, they did.
I had a shot at that point in time to still get the 1 seed.
You did.
I don't know what Dan was thinking, but
he was thinking what he always thinks.
It was a bit much.
When you pull that rabbit out of the hat, I can also say I'm confident when they get back because they had an opportunity to win that game. Even though they got that flag, you still make a better throw, you win that game right there. Isn't that the difference right there on that other 2 try on that other 2-point
conversion? Kick the field goal. Kick the PAT.
So what I'm saying there is you can see at moments they don't always step up and make that play. because that was an opportunity. It's not just about the ref. They also had an opportunity to make a play that they did not make. That's why they lost that game. You see what I mean? On that 2-point play. That was a bad, that throw. They got him short.
You got it once.
I'm with you on what you're saying.
Kick the PAT.
I'm with you on what you're saying.
Are you trying to find reasons they should have won the game to make it look like, well, they didn't do it?
I'm showing you what the Cowboys did. It's not the Cowboys stopped them too. They did run another play and had an opportunity and didn't make that play. So that's all. I just want to make sure you see that part. But let me tell you something. When I go 38-35, you people start, that's a lot of score. Do you know the Lions have put up 42 points at home twice this year?
Yeah. No,
twice this year. So they can score, and you know that the Rams can score. So I'm going to see that.
I understand where you're going with it, Skip. If I'm picking the Cowboys, I want that same path.
You do.
I want that same path.
Yeah, because you want the Rams to go out there and knock them off.
Something that the Rams haven't really been able to do.
Okay, I get you. But they did beat them in an NFC Championship game to get to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
But it was at
that was Jimmy G a while ago.
Okay, it was a while ago. But the point is, then we would have to deal with the most dangerous team left, because the Rams would then come to Dallas for an NFC Championship game.
Which you knocked the quarterback out early in the year, so you feel good. You want the easiest path. There's nothing wrong with that.
It was 40-23
There's
when
nothing
Matt
wrong
Stafford
with
played at
that.
Dallas.
I'm with you, Skip.
Yeah,
if you can get the Rams,
if
you can get the Rams, which is the what seed right now? 6? What are they?
The Rams not those last seed.
They're the 6th seed. If you can get the 6th seed to come to Dallas and go to the Super Bowl, I'd take it all day long. If you could.
Yeah. But there's a lot of things now. You know, the Rams.
Man, we can ready to pay some bills, man.
If you feel it, the Rams, you may want the Rams to go to San Fran.
Skip is going to pay some bills.
You get that thing in Philly. I'm just saying.
Commercial break.
Okay, we'll go commercial break. I was just saying there are other opportunities for other teams. But we need it through Dallas.
Will you stop talking?
Okay, I gotta go.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.